Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's literally been so long since I've been on here. It's been like 3 months.
I can explain.
I also just moved into my own apartment for the second time because I moved in with my ex. And that was like its own little moving out series thing, but I obviously moved out of there. I actually love living alone so much. I'm gonna do like a get ready with me, chit chat, life update kind of thing. There's so many major life events that happened in my life just over the past couple months, honestly. I'm gonna put on some lashes right now. These are from Shein. I don't remember what exactly style these are, but I'm gonna try to find a link and put them in the description box. I just feel like it's really hard to find lashes for my eyes. This is actually the first time I'm doing my makeup after I cut my bangs. I want to like make them, I honestly,
I want to make sure I don't look cooked.
they're a little greasy right now, but once I actually get these styled and everything and I have my makeup on, they're gonna look really cute. Just to save us some time on the video, we're gonna do a little lash transformation. Okay, so I put on these lashes and whatnot. A lot of shit has happened ever since the last time I recorded on YouTube. Even before that, like even my last video that I have on YouTube right now, so much shit was popping off. I feel like you could tell. Okay, but I'm gonna get into the makeup because I actually do have to do my makeup right now. Like, it's not even a joke. Oh, I was about to say, what did Eliza do with my foundation? First, I'm gonna use this little primer. I got this a while ago and it actually is pretty good. It kind of reminds me of the e.l.f. Pore Grip Primer.
What the f is on my finger?
We're gonna start off with like me and my personal relationship. I already made a whole entire video about that, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you go check it out because it has a lot of tea. Actually, it really doesn't, but me and my why am I stuttering? Me and my baby daddy were already kind of fighting when we moved in, but we just needed to move in somewhere because I think something was going on with his parents. He had to find his own place, so he really wanted me to move in with him. It was just getting so toxic so fast. Like, you can tell our personalities were just not mixing. Like, they never did mix, but right now they just really weren't. It really wasn't me at a certain point. Like, I was really trying to make shit work just because everything that was going on at home with my family, like I wasn't trying to go back to that low-key. So I was just like, no, like I'm gonna try to make this work with him. I low-key felt like I was kind of dependent on him for a second there.
Just a little second.
So much shit was happening with my relationship at the same time as my parents' relationship. Another thing on top of that is that YouTube started fucking with my paychecks. I don't know what happened, but I think they paused my monetization. I was trying to figure out why. It took me forever to figure out why my monetization was paused. I've always worked for YouTube. Like, I don't know if you guys have known this, but I've never had a real job. And I low-key, like, I'm not opposed to getting a real job, like at Taco Bell, McDonald's, any of that. But YouTube has been my only source of income ever since I was a teenager. So like, once that happened, I literally started to freak out. I was like, how the fuck am I about to get paid? So much shit was happening in the summer. Me and my baby daddy started to fight really bad. Like, it got to the point where we literally could not live with each other. I grabbed all my shit, I packed all my shit, and I headed out. This is the foundation that I've been using. I just used a little bit of it, and then I used mostly concealer. I found out that my mom wasn't staying at the house and that her and my dad were fighting really bad. I'm not gonna tell you guys all the details and the reasons why they were fighting because that's a really personal family issue. Basically, my dad was just really mad at her, and I couldn't really understand why because I hadn't been there for a little bit. It had already been months since I lived with my baby daddy, so I wasn't really home to experience what was going on, like what was the dynamic between them. I honestly don't remember that much, but I think I moved back in around April. This was kind of around the time that they were arguing bad. Like, they had officially stopped talking. I think they actually broke up. Like, they didn't officially divorce, but they were broken up. Like, they were both single. I feel so weird. Like, I can't tell you guys what happened because I just feel like I'm outing somebody else's business, but it literally affected my entire life too. Actually, I'm kind of starting to remember a little bit more now. I think that I'm just thinking about so many things. You can kind of tell my dad was more affected by it than my mom was. No, she was doing her own thing. She had her own reasons to want to be single and to want to be out of that relationship. It's also really gloomy outside, so if the lighting was really bad this whole video, we're just gonna keep going like this, even though the video should have been filmed like this the whole entire time. Let's make sure this stands up now. After they broke up, my dad just started to drink so much. Like, every single day he was drinking, and you can tell because just his personality was different, the way he was talking was different. You can smell the alcohol on his breath. And then I also got into some arguments with him because I would overhear them from my room when Deliza was only like a month or two old. I think Deliza was only like 2 or 3 months old, and I would hear them arguing while Diego was at work. And I remember I would get into so many arguments with my dad, like before he pretty much crashed the fuck out. I would get into like a couple arguments with him because I would overhear him and my mom arguing, and he would start getting loud. I don't know, like he would sound like he was low-key about to get violent. So I would run in there, and like Deliza was only like 2 months old around this time. She was really young. Like it would only be me, my daughter, and then my 2 parents there because my little sisters were at school. Because this was around like the school season. I think this was like around May-ish. I would hear them arguing, and I would have to press his shit like, stop acting like the victim, boy. I got into a couple arguments with him, and I think that's low-key one of the reasons why he crashed out. I was kind of getting scared, and so I would intervene a lot because I was the only one that was home, and so I wasn't gonna let no shit happen. Especially like, I still would tell him, like I would literally tell him I wanted to be home because I knew like things were not right at my house. I just feel like I wanted to be there just because like my sister's in Mexico, and then my youngest sister, she's only 16. I just wanted to be there just in case. Literally exactly what I thought would happen ended up happening. They started arguing. Things just got so toxic over there. Like I never argued with my dad or talked to my dad the way I did when all this shit went down, because I feel like, dude, the tensions were so high. I'll always protect my mom no matter what. I remember I argued with my dad really bad. Like my mom was there, my little sisters were there, and I was just telling him, I was low-key threatening him. I was like, if you get physical with my mom again, I'm gonna get physical with your mom. Oh. And I don't know what possessed me to say that, because that's literally my grandma and I love her. I was just so mad that he was getting physical with my mom when I wasn't there, because I would obviously stay at my baby daddy's apartment. When I was there, I was just laying down the issue. I was like, if you get physical with her again, I'm literally calling the cops on you. I had to lay down the issue, like you're not getting physical with my mom. Like, let me just tell you that right there, you're not getting physical with my mom. The tensions were so high, I was literally just saying anything. Like my blood was boiling. I was so mad. I was ready to fight anybody's grandma, like, because you're not about to put hands on my mother, especially when I'm not there. Like that shit made me so mad. And so basically after that, he dead ass just crashed the fuck out. Like I went to go live back with my baby daddy probably for like 2-3 more weeks, and then I came back because me and my baby daddy obviously got into a big ass argument again. I came back to my house in the mountains and everything was destroyed. Like it was so bad, you guys, and it still kind of looks like that. Like we've gotten a couple like the main important things fixed. I don't know what was running through this man's veins. It was after the argument that I had with him, like he literally crashed the fuck out. Like I came back to my house, all my stuff was basically still there except for like some of the little bit of things that I brought to my baby daddy's apartment. I came back and literally everything was destroyed. But when I tell you guys, my room was the worst part of the house that was destroyed. Like it was crazy to see all of my belongings torn up. Like, bro, every single window in the house was shattered because I don't know what the fuck he grabbed, but I don't know how, but he shattered every single window in our house, and these are double paned windows, so like they're really thick to like keep the warmth in and stuff. The living rooms, my room, Vicky's room, Rachel's room. He didn't do it to his own room, of course. My room was basically the worst. Like you can tell he had a vendetta against me because my room was destroyed. Like everything was destroyed. My dresser, I'm about to cry. Like, bro, and for me to be such a materialistic ass bitch and then for you to go and do that shit. Once I got back and I seen that, like I started crying. Like I was bawling my fucking eyes out. I was like, bro, all of me and my baby's shit is on the floor outside. He shattered my window and he threw like half of my shit that was in my room. I don't even remember what it was. A bunch of my stuff though, I remember. It wasn't a lot of Deliza's stuff, but it was some of her stuff outside the window. And I seen that because I didn't even see that until later, until I already seen my room fucked up, my bathroom fucked up, everything. When I seen he threw my shit out the window, girl, I lost it. I literally lost my shit. Like, bro, honestly, fuck the stuff. Like, I can get new stuff, I can get new clothes, but it's like the betrayal. Like, why would my own dad do this to me? It really be your own fucking family. The people you call your family will do you the fucking worst. The amount of stress that this put on me and my mom specifically was so unforgivable. Like, everything else, it can be fixed, but this time period of my life was so fucking bad. And then it's like, on top of that, I was fighting with my baby daddy every 2 seconds. My life was just so upside down, so bad. When I show you, like, even the bathroom was fucked up. Like, he literally, like, took the whole entire countertop off of its platform. I don't know how a man could do that. Like, how? I don't know if you guys remember my old bathroom in my little mountain town. It was like right here. There was like 2 sinks, and one was originally for Alexis, but her ass left. One was for me. So he took this whole thing out and he threw it in the bathtub area, like the shower bathtub area. And like basically all of my products fell out into the bathtub, and they were just like sitting there. Eventually I started trying to like retrieve things that I wanted to bring with me back to Bakersfield, because you know, I was not about to stay in there. Like, my room was tore the fuck up. I just tried to grab everything that I could, and I literally have not been back there since. Ever since the first couple times that I went there to just grab stuff and go, I literally have not been back to the house because it's so bad. Just looking at it gives me the worst memories ever. We had really good memories as a family in that house, but like now I just cannot stand to be there, because just knowing everything that happened. I remember like a month before YouTube kind of started with my paychecks, like a month before all that stuff started happening, my mom needed to use my paycheck. I don't remember how much I got that month, but she needed to use like all of it for these like lawyer fees. I kind of finished a little bit of my makeup already. I just went over my face with some more little bronzer. I use these 2 blushes right now. First I use the liquid Juvia's Place blush, and then I use the powder one after I already did powder. This is the powder that I use. This is so good. If you guys haven't tried Patrick Starr's beauty brand, they sell it literally everywhere now. You guys need to check it out because it's so good. Another one of my favorite makeup brands recently has been Charlotte Tilbury. Just recently, yesterday, picked up her pressed powder. I don't know, y'all, like I'm low-key starting to have a little collection. I'm actually so happy to have like high-end makeup now, because I've always kind of been a drugstore makeup girly. It feels so good to really invest in your makeup, and especially like your foundation, powder, like your base routine. I feel like you should really invest in, and then everything else you can get from like Elf. And I just did the powder and everything, so this is what my base is looking like so far. I also forgot to mention I already put on setting spray. I like to do setting spray before mascara and highlighter. I don't know why. All right, we're gonna do some little highlighter. I low-key forgot what I was talking about because my camera died. It's been the most traumatic summer of my life. I'm gonna put some highlighter up there, maybe a little bit right there. Just wish that I ended up getting my own apartment instead of moving in with my baby daddy, because that's actually what I originally was gonna do, but he's the one who didn't want me to live by myself, obviously, because we were still together and it was gonna be more expensive if we were to live alone. So we ended up getting an apartment together under his name. I really do appreciate the time that we spent together, but you can tell when you're not compatible with somebody just by living together. But yeah, now I know. I feel like I'm so clear-minded and focused on what I actually want in a person. I don't remember what I left off on before my camera died. I was talking about how I was saving up to move out, and so I didn't end up moving out until a couple months later after that, because I literally just got my apartment, I want to say like 2 weeks ago. On top of that, I'm also saving up for a new car, just like a new, more reliable car. It was just so stressful around that time, because the things that my dad was doing literally was reflecting onto me, onto Alexis, because we had to help my mom financially. I wasn't just gonna let my mom struggle and like do what she had to do for money when I could give her the money. But at the same time, she was low-key like holding me back from the things that I needed to do myself, like as a mother. You know, like I had a lot of goals for myself and for Deliza, and I feel like around that time it just felt so impossible to get to where I needed to be. Another thing was I really wanted to start college back in August. Everything that was going on, there was no way I could have started college back then. Like now, I'm gonna start a few classes in January. If I do end up going through with it, it'll actually work out, I feel like, because I have everything in order. Dude, but back then, it just seemed like it was so impossible. Like every goal that I had just seemed like it was getting farther and farther away. But honestly, I'm so happy that I did end up like holding back from going to school, because I feel like now is literally the perfect time to put myself back out there and start making new friends and go back to school, insert myself into things. Like for the longest time, I wanted to be out the mix, I wanted to be out of the business, just have a whole new perspective on life, especially after everything that happened with my parents. My dad was literally selling some of my stuff out of our little storage in the backyard. We had like this storage connex, and he was selling my shit out of there. Like I don't know where he was selling it, like Facebook Marketplace, I don't know where the fuck. Like he was probably getting real creative, but I don't know where it was going. He was selling my shit. Like, dude, there's just so many parts of this story that I still will never tell the internet. It's like it really did affect me to my core, because you were supposed to be my dad, like you were supposed to be my parent. It's like when shit like that happens, you start to see the world so different. Like my whole perspective on life, just friendships and family and everything is so different now. Not for the better, but it's not for the worse. Like I just feel like I'm stronger now, because the last time I moved out of my apartment, I seen some comments where they were saying, like, asking if I got evicted. Girl, no. I'm not judging anybody that has gotten evicted, girl, you do you. I got offered another year lease after that, but I didn't want to stay because the rent was, first of all, the rent was too high for what I was getting. And then another thing is I got pregnant and I didn't want to be at home all alone by myself. Just thought moving back in with my parents would be a good idea. It really the fuck wasn't. Like that was honestly top 10 worst ideas I think I've ever made in my life. Not their fault. Like it's not her fault, it's not his fault, it's nobody's fault. It's just, it's my fault for moving back. Like, bro, what was I thinking? And so it was crazy. I just felt like I was so alone, and the only people I would really talk to about it was my sisters and my family and like some of my friends. But even then, when I would tell my friends, you could tell they really didn't understand what was going on and like how much it actually did affect me. I just felt like telling the internet was gonna take me a little while. After all that stuff happened, when my dad ruined the house, he ended up going to like some rehab facility out of town, where basically he was getting clean off of like the alcohol and the things that he was taking. So he's actually still there, and like I haven't seen him since. My sisters have seen him, my mom's seen him, pretty much everybody's seen him but me. But basically, yeah, you guys, that situation was so stressful. I feel like I came out a better person though. I feel like I'm honestly a better mother too, because I really had to prioritize like what was important around that time. I just really wanted stability for me and my baby. That's all I wanted. Now that I have it, it just feels so good. Like it's taken me honestly like months to recover from this. Like every couple weeks I still think about it and it makes me really sad. I feel like I've really never experienced something like this, and that's why it was so traumatic for me. And honestly, I don't even ever want to mention that summer ever again. Like after this video, I feel like this was really therapeutic for me, because I really got to talk about how it personally affected me in my life and like how stressful it was for me. And then that's also why I took a long ass break off of YouTube. I think it's been like 3 months since I posted. I really just had to take a break from social media, all social medias, to just really like sit and process what just happened to me and my family, and like what really personally happened to me. Like I feel like I went through so many transformations. It's gotten so much better around that time. That's why I feel like I can actually talk about it, because my life is so much better than it was just a couple months ago. If you guys are down right now, just know it gets better. Life gets better. Have hope. I think that's gonna be it for my little chit chat. Get ready with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wanted to get back on YouTube and I wanted to start making normal YouTube videos, but I feel like I couldn't do that unless I actually made a sit down video and really explained why I took a break. I was honestly not even in the right headspace to make a video like this or talk about everything that I was going through when it was happening. I think it's really good that now I'm sitting down. I wanted to tell you guys what's been going on in my life. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna start trying to post at least once a week. If not, I'll post more than that, but I'm gonna try my hardest to post once a week. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my new YouTube video.